We're now back to our main news tonight. One of Britain's most popular television presenters, the BBC's Jill Dando.
Jill Dando, who as Crime Watch presenter helped to send dozens of criminals to jail, was murdered on her own doorstep today.
Police have said it's too early to talk about what the motive for the murder might have been.
The 37-year-old presenter died in hospital after being found shot through the head on her own doorstep.
This programme was her passion. And now, as Jill helps others, we hope we can do the same for her.
April 26th. 1999, a quiet, affluent street in Fulham, London. The sun is shining. It is broad daylight. At 11:30 in the morning, a young woman steps out of her car and walks toward her front door. She is the golden girl of British television, the beloved host of the hit show Crime Watch. Her name is Jill Dando, but as she reaches for her keys, a shadow steps up behind her. A hand forces her down to the ground. A gun is pressed firmly against her left temple. A single shot is fired, and the killer simply walks away. How does the most famous crime fighter on British television get assassinated in cold blood on her own doorstep? And more terrifyingly, how does the killer vanish into thin air? To understand the shockwave of this murder, you have to understand who Jill Dando was. She was the nation's sweetheart, the Princess Diana of British broadcasting. Millions tuned in every week to watch her host Crime Watch, a show dedicated to solving the country's most dangerous unsolved crimes. She was heavily protected. She was universally loved. Let's look at the morning of the murder. Jill had just returned from a shopping trip. She parked her blue BMW and walked the short path to her front door at 29 Gowan Avenue. The killer was waiting. He did not run. He did not panic. He grabbed her from behind, pinning her arms. The weapon was a 9mm semi-automatic pistol, modified to press tightly against her head to muffle the sound. Just 14 minutes later, a neighbor found her body. But here's the most chilling part of the crime scene. There were no screams heard. There were no screeching tires. In the middle of a busy London suburb in broad daylight, nobody saw a thing. The execution was flawless, swift, silent, and completely invisible. The assassination launched the largest criminal investigation in British history since the hunt for the Yorkshire Ripper. The operation was massive. The media pressure on the police was suffocating. The public demanded an arrest. The police desperately needed a suspect, and they found one living just a few streets away. His name was Barry George. He was a local eccentric, a loner with a history of stalking women and an obsession with guns and celebrities. To the police, he fit the profile of a deranged, obsessed fan. In 2001, Barry George was convicted of murder and sentenced to life in prison. But the evidence holding that conviction together was terrifyingly thin. There were no witnesses who could positively identify him. No murder weapon was ever found. The entire case rested on a single microscopic particle of gunshot residue, one tiny speck found inside the pocket of Barry George's coat a full year after the murder. Years later, with the lone stalker theory shattered, investigators were forced to look at the darker, more terrifying alternatives. Was this a professional hit? The sheer mechanics of the murder, a single shot to the head, custom ammunition, evading all CCTV cameras, leaving zero forensic trace, screams of a highly trained assassin. But who would order a hit on a TV presenter? The first theory points straight to the criminal underworld. Every month, Jill stood on national television and asked the public to help lock up dangerous mobsters, armed robbers, and drug lords. Was this an execution ordered from behind bars? A brutal, bloody message sent by London's organized crime syndicates to back off? Then there is the international angle, the Serbian hitman theory. In April 1999, the Kosovo War was raging. Just weeks before her murder, Jill fronted a massive television appeal for Kosovan refugees fleeing Serbian forces. 3 days before she was shot, NATO bombed a state-run television station in Serbia, killing 16 journalists. Intelligence agencies began to whisper a chilling possibility. Was Jill Dando targeted in a tit-for-tat assassination? Was she executed by a hitman from Arkansas Tigers, a notorious Serbian paramilitary group, as revenge against the British media? The murder of Jill Dando remains one of the most baffling and high-profile unsolved crimes in history. a beloved icon, perfectly assassinated on her own doorstep, while the rest of the world was having their morning coffee. The killer simply walked away into the London crowds like a ghost, never leaving a footprint, never making a mistake. What do you think happened to the golden girl of British television? Was it a bizarre, tragic encounter with a local stalker, or a cold, calculated hit carried out by a professional phantom? Let me know your theories down in the comments below. If this mystery kept you guessing, please hit that like button and subscribe for more deep dives into the world's most chilling true crime cases. Until next time, stay safe and always watch your surroundings.